I believe firmly in giving your gifts and living the brother's life, but never thought I'd be doing the things that when I joined the brothers, that I'm doing today. And one was going to Africa. And I remember when I got the call, I was asked, first of all, I taught for 13 years, and then I got a call from Brother Dominic, who was in Africa, asking me to come over to Africa. There was a need for me to be director of formation over there, of young Africans interested in being Christian brothers. And this district was new, Lawanga district was new. And I said, oh, I can't, I'd never been to Africa. I can think of many reasons why I didn't want to go. I don't do heat and humidity. But then I got to thinking about it, and we talked, and I decided, well, no, someone else should maybe do it, best not to. And then 3 months later, I got an email from our Superior General asking me to consider coming to Nairobi, Africa, and be director of formation. And when you take a vow of poverty, chastity, and obedience as a brother, to me that was, when the Superior General asks you to go, you go. And it's the best move I've ever made. And God works in many ways. And for me, it was a changing point in my life to decide to say yes. And it was for 2 years, meant to be 2 years. And 2 years became 9 years, and for various circumstances. And I loved it. And the men that came for formation came from 5 different countries, from Nigeria, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Kenya, and South Africa. A real mix of cultures. And I thought I didn't know the African culture, that's why I wasn't worthy to maybe be there. But I found out Nigerians don't understand South Africans and Ethiopians either. There's a cultural learning curve there too. But if you're brothers and if you're looking at some common goals and to live a common life, it's wonderful. And if you're honest and sincere with people, and if you make mistakes, have them let you know that. If they offend you, and if you offend them, have them talk to you about it. It's wonderful. Differences can be worked out.
It's one thing to come from the United States back and forth, and it's another experience to actually plant yourself on the continent, and you live there, and you live with, and you live for the future in terms of developing the country as it relates to our own institute. Kenya is very Christian, and many Catholics, you know, the missionaries have really made an impression on so many of them over the years, missionary priests, etc. And so we have many Christian schools, and we have a number of Catholic schools specifically. So I found that the Africans, and specifically Kenya, were very open to any school that was Christian, whether it was Catholic or whether it was Baptist or whatever. And many of our students, obviously, not so much obviously, but are of a Catholic background or become Catholic. And that isn't something that we're strongly pushing or saying in order to come here you need to be, not at all. This all comes from their own culture. In the country of Ethiopia and Eritrea, we have very few Catholics. In the country of Ethiopia, we probably would have 1%. And yet, our schools are filled. And it's very similar in some respects to the southern part of the United States, and particularly our mission here in Memphis, Tennessee, whether it be De La Salle Blessed Sacrament, whether it be CBHS or CBU, that everybody is welcome, and that we're here for a Christian education, yes, but does someone need to be a specific religion? No. But it amazes me that 1% in the country of Ethiopia is Catholic, and yet our schools, and we have four schools, they're packed. And when I say packed, they're packed 1,000, maybe 1,500. You know, classes are 60 and 70 in a classroom. So it just amazes me the respect they have for Christianity, and the respect they have for the De La Salle brothers in particular. And the 90% of our faculties are of different religion, and yet they buy into the mission.